Let's talk about debt settlement. When you're feeling buried by bills, it can sound like the ultimate lifeline, right? Thousands of people reach for it every single year. But today, we're going to go way past the sales pitch and find out what that promised relief really costs. And yeah, that makes total sense. The stress is just constant. You've got the phone ringing off the hook. You feel trapped. It's completely exhausting. So when some company swoops in and says they can cut your debt in half, wow, it sounds like a miracle. It feels like the escape hatch you've been desperately looking for. And that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Because what they show you up front is almost never the full picture. Hidden away in all that fine print are costs that can totally change the game. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the big promise they make. Then we'll unpack all those hidden costs. We're going to run the numbers to see what you actually save, arm you with the questions you have to ask, and finally, show you how to spot real, ethical help. Okay, so it all starts with a pitch. And honestly, it's a really simple, incredibly tempting pitch. The entire for-profit debt settlement industry is basically built on one powerful idea that's super easy to get excited about. And there it is, a clean, simple, massive number that sounds absolutely amazing. I mean, who wouldn't want to see half their debt just vanish into thin air? This is the hook. This is what gets people to sign on the dotted line, thinking they're about to save a ton of money.
But you knew there was a but coming, right? Of course there's a catch. That big, shiny savings number isn't what you actually get to keep. So let's pull back the curtain and look at all the fees they conveniently forget to mention in that first sales call.
And suddenly, it's not so simple anymore. You've got enrollment fees just to get started, then monthly service charges, then debt negotiation fees, which are often a slice of your total debt, not just your savings. Oh, and account maintenance fees, legal fees, and sometimes even charges they try to disguise as voluntary donations. Every single one of these is just chipping away at that promise. So how do they get away with all this? They use something called obscured fees. They're literally buried in tiny footnotes, wrapped up in confusing legal jargon, or just lumped together under some vague term like admin costs. And here's the real kicker. A lot of companies take these fees out of your payments before they even send a single penny to your creditors.
Okay, hearing about it is one thing, but seeing the numbers really makes it hit home. Let's walk through a pretty standard example and watch how these hidden fees can just absolutely demolish the savings you were promised.
All right, let's break this down. You start out with 12 grand in debt. They promise to settle it for 7, which means you're expecting to save $5,000. Sounds fantastic. But now look at the bottom half. There's a negotiation fee of $1,250. Monthly service fees add up to $1,200, and another $550 in other charges. That's $3,000 cash that you've paid directly to the settlement company. So after you take that $3,000 in fees away from the $5,000 you thought you were saving, this is what's left. $2,000. That is your actual real-world savings. It just evaporated. Poof. It went straight into fees. In a scenario just like this one, the debt settlement company walks away with 60% of your savings. Think about that. You're the one taking all the risk, the hit to your credit score, all the stress, and they are pocketing the majority of the benefit. That is the deceptive math at the very core of this business. Okay, so how do you keep yourself from falling into this trap? Well, it all starts with asking the right questions and, more importantly, demanding clear, straight answers. Think of this as your personal defense toolkit. Before you even think about signing anything, you have to ask these questions. Can I please see a full list of every single fee? Are your fees based on my total debt or only on the money you actually save me? And listen, this one is absolutely critical. Do you collect your fees before or after my debts are settled? If they dodge or give you a fuzzy answer on any of these, that is a huge red flag. Just walk away. Because here's the good news. Not all debt help is designed to take advantage of you. There are good, ethical, and really effective organizations out there. The key is just knowing how to tell the difference between a company trying to profit from your situation and one that genuinely wants to help you get back on your feet. You know, it really boils down to this. The red flags are stuff like high fees before they've done anything, vague promises, and a lot of pressure to sign up right now. Their goal is profit. The green flags are the exact opposite. Reputable nonprofits won't charge a fee until your debt is actually settled. They give you a clear, honest breakdown of costs, a free first meeting, and they care about your long-term financial health. Their motive is helping you, period. So here's your checklist for finding the good guys. Look for a nonprofit that has certified credit counselors. They should be more interested in teaching you how to manage your money than just getting you to sign up.
They'll be totally transparent about everything, and that first chat to figure things out should always, always be free.
So, we'll leave you with this one last thought. The promise of debt relief is so powerful. But a bad deal doesn't actually solve your problem, it just repackages it into a new kind of debt to the settlement company. So before you sign anything, just ask yourself this. Are you actually buying a solution, or are you just buying yourself a whole new problem?